Alright, you guys, listen up. This is going to be a video explaining the pineal gland that sits in the center of your forehead, okay? The pine cone, the pineal. It's a very powerful tool that has been used, and it has been used by the enemy, actually. For so long, the enemy has perverted the true ways of the Lord and has gotten you to worship an external source and depend on and become reliant on and create a program based on the external program. So I know I need to talk like a little bit more calmly when I teach you guys about these things, because it's really brainwashed that has been going on in society. A lot of us have been brainwashed, and we haven't been taught the true way to enter into paradise or the Garden of Eden or the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is within you, right? So we are the kingdom. Because if the kingdom is within us, then that means that we're the temple. Do you not know that your body is a temple for the Most High God? You guys, this is why we have to have the Gnostic interpretations, and we have to read the Gnostic Bible, and we have to read the Emerald Tablets and, the forbidden books. Why is it forbidden? Because the fallen angels use this information to supply and demand, to create a system of enslavement and a matrix, right? Because having this understanding, knowledge, it's powerful. It's very powerful. And for them to brainwash people and get them to believe that they're not powerful and that the power is on the outside has completely watered down who God is, okay? God is the master of the universal divine laws. And I will do another video on the universal divine laws, but today I want to stay focused on the pineal gland. So, the pineal gland sits in the center of your forehead. And if you guys have been to a church, if you guys are Catholic, you would know that there's a pine cone that sits in the center of their cathedral. Why? Because it replicates the pine cone within your brain. So let's go back to Egypt and ancient Egypt and the times where they built the pyramids, right? The Pyramid of Giza aligned with the three kings in Orion's belt. The three kings that brought the three gifts, what has to do with the land of milk and honey, and certain compartments within your brain that produce this milk and honey. Like melatonin and serotonin and, our neurotransmitters. There's certain things that are happening within our brain, you guys. This is really deep and scientific, especially for someone that's never even delved deep into the seeking, right? Seek and ye shall find. But within our brain in Egypt, they had these animals, right, that represented certain compartments within the brain, which is why they had a temple in the form of an Egyptian emperor, or a mummy, or whatever you want to call it, right? The Temple of Luxor, I believe is what it was called. And basically what they were showing you was that you are a God, created in the image of God, and they understood the human anatomy and the certain compartments within the body that led to ascension, right? But instead of, this being information utilized for people to have, control over their kingdom, an external kingdom came in and conquered and stole this information and created an external source, external circuits, external cellular communication devices to replicate and pervert who God truly is within you and who really holds the power. So inside your brain, there is a pineal gland, like I said, which is called your third eye, your bird's eye, or the eye of Horus. So this eye of Horus is a very powerful device located right here in the center of your two eyes, which is why there's a biblical phrase that goes, if thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. This is also why the pyramids were built, to help you understand human consciousness and how we are creating our reality based on our mind and our emotions, because crystals are life and it reflects light and sound. So to go even deeper into this, Nikola Tesla talks about, if you want to know the secrets to the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Why does he say this? Well, he says this, and Albert Einstein says it too, and also Pythagoras says it too, and Aristotle says it too. There's a lot of philosophers that said this, physicists, whatever, however you want to classify or label these people. They're all still trying to understand and attain the truth of who we are, why we're here, and how things are created. This material world is created through energy, and energy comes from our brain and our heart. We have energy fields around our body. It is called our electromagnetic field. This electromagnetic field is made up of thoughts and emotions that get drawn into our reality, because our heart is electromagnetic and our mind is electrochemical. Together, that creates an electromagnetic field, right? So Aristotle once said, the energy of the mind is the essence of life. He said this because there are streams of energy that come from our mind, and specifically, it comes from our pineal gland, which is why the world has worked so hard to calcify your calcite crystal. Because crystals do what? They reflect light and sound. If you pick up crystals, sometimes you could see a little rainbow in the crystal. I know the crystal that I have, I could see a rainbow in the crystal because it's reflecting light, just like, our sun reflects light, and there's an aura that comes from the sun's magnetism, and this is what creates the aurora borealis lights, or the northern or the southern lights, whatever phrase or term you want to use to describe these things. But you guys, inside your brain is a crystal, and it's just like Trinity, which is a triangle, which is your pyramid consciousness. And this triangle reflects light and sound, like I said. So when Aristotle said the energy of the mind is the essence of life, he was talking in terms of energy, sound, frequency, and vibration. Energy, frequency, vibration. Okay? So what's going on is when we think something and we feel something, we create a wave of energy. And this wave of energy turns into physical matter. And this ties into the as within, so without principle. So everything that's happening inside of you, you must bring forth what is within you, is being created on the outside. And so what's been happening for so long is you've been living a lie. You've been living an illusion based on what the enemy has created through its stimulated devices. The whole purpose of the enemy is to stimulate your mind so that they can project what it is they want into the world and make an income off of the projections and the illusions that they're creating. The television programs. Because your pineal gland is so powerful, it's the seat of the soul, and it gives you the power to transcend time and space that has been created by an external source. The internal source is the only source that matters. The internal source is the power, right? And this power can break down the matrix that has been created and set before your eyes, right? So you must take your power back and recognize that your body is a temple for the Most High God. You have compartments within your body that you need to utilize that completely will transform your life and everything you see in front of you, because, again, everything is energy. And if there's a crystal within your brain that reflects light and sound and creates energy, doesn't that mean that illusion is coming from you? Yes. And that's why the enemy creates television programs and has news programs and is creating all of this distress and disease in the world and trying to inject bodies with synthetic strains of DNA to hijack the internal cellular communication network so that their external cellular communication level can, in hopes, surpass human intelligence and take over the world. There's no external kingdom. You are the Church of Christ. You are the kingdom. And the Christ is the Cristos. It's an oil that rises up your body through the 7 seals of man, like a snake, called the Kundalini energy, that we will get into in another video because we're almost at 10 minutes and I want to be able to post this video for you guys. But remember, there's a crystal inside your brain called a calcite crystal. And I'm going to teach you guys how to decalcify this crystal so that you can live the life of your dreams, the life that you have been granted by the Most High God to live if you step out of the simulation that has been created, the sin-ulation that they are programming in your mind to create that illusion on the outside. More on my next video.